The Gulf of Mexico is a cauldron of meteorological activity. This vast body of water, with its warm currents and humid air, serves as a breeding ground for some of the most intense and destructive storms known to humankind. It's a place where warm waters and humid air combine to create some of the most powerful storms on Earth. The unique conditions here are perfect for the formation of hurricanes, which can grow from small disturbances into massive, swirling tempests. Hurricane Milton is one such storm. Emerging from the depths of the Gulf, it has quickly gained strength, feeding off the warm waters and humid air. Born from a seemingly insignificant cluster of thunderstorms, Milton has rapidly transformed into a meteorological monster. What started as a minor disturbance has now evolved into a formidable force of nature, showcasing the raw power of the Gulf. With sustained winds of 180 miles per hour and a central pressure that ranks among the lowest ever recorded, Milton is a Category 5 hurricane poised to make a catastrophic landfall. The eye of the storm, a deceptively calm center, is surrounded by towering walls of clouds and ferocious winds. Its target, the densely populated Tampa Bay region of Florida. This area, home to millions, is now in the crosshairs of one of the most powerful hurricanes in recent history. The year is 2024, and the Atlantic hurricane season is in full swing. Each year the season brings with it the potential for destruction, but this year Milton stands out as a particularly menacing threat. But Milton is no ordinary hurricane. Its rapid intensification and sheer size make it a rare and dangerous anomaly. Meteorologists are baffled by its unusual characteristics, which defy many of the norms associated with typical hurricanes. It's a rare breed of storm, the kind that only comes along once a century. Historical comparisons show that Milton's intensity and path are unlike anything seen in recent memory, making it a subject of intense study and concern. As Milton churns towards Florida, residents and emergency responders alike are bracing for what could be the most destructive storm in generations. Communities are coming together, boarding up homes and stocking up on essential supplies, all in a race against time. The stakes are high, and the time to prepare is dwindling by the hour. With each passing moment, the urgency grows, and the reality of Milton's impending impact becomes ever more apparent. The Gulf of Mexico, once a serene expanse of water, now harbors a monster that threatens to reshape the lives of countless individuals. Hurricane Milton began as a seemingly insignificant disturbance, a mere blip on the radar of meteorologists. It was a low-pressure system, a swirl of clouds and rain, adrift over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. At first glance, it seemed like just another tropical disturbance, one of many that formed during the hurricane season. But this seemingly innocuous weather system possessed all the ingredients needed to transform into a meteorological monster. The atmospheric conditions were just right, with low wind shear and high humidity, allowing the storm to organize and strengthen. Warm ocean waters, fueled by a long, hot summer, acted as high-octane fuel for the developing storm. And warm they were. The Gulf of Mexico had been experiencing an unusually hot season, with sea surface temperatures soaring to unprecedented levels. Sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico were at record highs, creating an environment ripe for rapid intensification. These warm waters provided the energy needed for the storm to grow stronger and more organized. As Milton drifted over these abnormally warm waters, it began to draw in vast quantities of heat and moisture. This process, known as latent heat release, is what powers hurricanes, allowing them to grow in size and strength. The storm's central pressure plummeted and its wind speeds increased exponentially. Meteorologists watched in awe as the storm rapidly intensified, a clear sign that it was becoming a major hurricane. Within the span of just 48 hours, Milton had transformed from a tropical depression into a Category 5 hurricane, the highest and most dangerous category on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. This rapid intensification was a stark reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature and the importance of monitoring and preparing for such devastating storms. Tampa Bay is a vibrant metropolis on Florida's Gulf Coast. Known for its stunning waterfront views and dynamic urban landscape, the city is a hub of activity and growth. Home to millions of residents, it boasts a bustling downtown, miles of sandy beaches, and a thriving community that enjoys the best of both urban and coastal living. The beaches are always filled with families, tourists and locals soaking up the sun and enjoying the warm waters of the Gulf. Tampa Bay is also rich in cultural heritage, with numerous landmarks and historical sites that tell the story of its diverse past. From vibrant cultural festivals to historic buildings, the city offers a tapestry of experiences that reflect its unique blend of influences. But Tampa Bay is also a city acutely vulnerable to the fury of hurricanes. The threat of these powerful storms looms large, casting a shadow over the otherwise sunny disposition of the city. Its location on a shallow bay, coupled with its low-lying topography, makes it particularly susceptible to storm surge, a deadly rise in sea level that often accompanies powerful hurricanes. This geographical vulnerability means that even a relatively moderate storm can have devastating effects. History bears witness to Tampa Bay's vulnerability. Over the decades, the city has faced numerous hurricanes, each leaving its mark on the community and landscape. In 1921, a powerful hurricane, known only as the Tampa Bay Hurricane, slammed ashore just south of the city. This storm was a stark reminder of the destructive power of nature. Although not as powerful as some of the hurricanes we see today, the 1921 storm caused widespread destruction, inundating downtown Tampa with a 10-foot storm surge. The aftermath was a scene of chaos and rebuilding as the community came together to recover from the devastation. Now, a century later, Hurricane Milton threatens to unleash even greater fury upon Tampa Bay. With advancements in meteorology, we can now track these storms with greater accuracy, but the threat remains ever present. The projected path of the storm places the city squarely in its crosshairs. Residents are bracing for impact, preparing their homes and businesses and hoping for the best while fearing the worst. The community's resilience will once again be tested as they face the impending storm. Section 4. The fury of wind and water. Hurricanes are complex meteorological phenomena. They are much more than just powerful winds. They are engines of destruction that bring with them a deadly arsenal of wind, rain and storm surge. Hurricane Milton, with its monstrous size and intensity, is capable of unleashing all three of these forces with devastating consequences. Milton's winds, whipping at speeds of 180 miles per hour, are strong enough to level well-built homes, snap concrete power poles, and transform everyday debris into deadly projectiles. These winds, extending outwards for hundreds of miles from the storm's center, will batter the Florida coastline for hours, if not days on end. Section 5. A deluge of epic proportions. Wind is just one weapon in a hurricane's arsenal. Heavy rainfall is another. As a hurricane moves inland, it draws in vast quantities of moisture from the warm ocean waters. This moisture condenses within the storm's towering thunderheads and is then released in the form of torrential rainfall. Hurricane Milton, already engorged with moisture from its trek across the Gulf of Mexico, is expected to unleash record-breaking rainfall upon Florida. Forecasters predict rainfall totals of 10 to 20 inches, with isolated areas potentially seeing up to 30 inches. This deluge of water will overwhelm stormwater systems, inundate low-lying areas, and transform rivers and streams into raging torrents. Section 6. The threat from above, tornadoes. As if hurricane-force winds, torrential rainfall and storm surge weren't enough, hurricanes also have the uncanny ability to spawn tornadoes. These twisters, often embedded within a hurricane's spiral rain bands, can form with little warning, adding yet another layer of danger to an already perilous situation. Hurricane Milton, with its massive size and intense rotation, is a prime candidate for tornado development. The National Weather Service has issued numerous tornado watches and warnings for much of the Florida Peninsula, urging residents to be on high alert for these unpredictable and potentially deadly whirlwinds.